kind of jealous. I got this.
Welcome back to the podcast.
So one thing I noticed is I talk with my hands, and like I'll pound the table when I talk, and you can.
Sam gets mad.
No, I get mad because you can really hear it.
Okay.
So like, be careful even when.
I need to stop mumbling.
I got big arms, so like when I set them down, it's kind of heavy.
So Alex should be okay.
But the little legs, you hear nothing when he's throwing up a storm under there. You can't hear nothing.
So that is what we should talk about today.
I feel like I'm kind of short.
Is what the hell happened, guys?
I don't know.
What the hell happened?
It seems like
we had it in the
everything
bag.
around Vyper Energy just tends to crumble.
I think it's
not. I shouldn't say crumble because I don't
Not
think that's
crumble.
100% accurate. But
not crumble. It's just we definitely are being faced against the odds on this one, which I love.
just really tricky situations between everything, man.
The entire production.
Yeah.
So, a little background for everyone. We won't say any names.
We shouldn't say any names.
We won't say any names. If you do, then Brian can just bleep them out.
Sort of turn like you're facing Dane and less like you're facing me.
So, look, you can kind of see what it looks like.
Yeah.
I really like saying it.
We need to intro Alex.
That's okay.
This is Alex, guys. All right, moving on.
I don't know why I come up here.
All right.
I'm just.
Alex,
I'm
Fine,
just
let's go around the table real quick.
Alex,
if you don't remember me from the last podcast, I'm Sam.
the one and only Alex.
And I am Dane. So, Alex, a little background of Al. He was pretty much
The day one.
a day one. He was. He was
An OG customer.
a founder, OG customer, paid full price as well for the chair. Didn't call in, didn't bitch and moan about price, didn't want free shipping. The guy just paid for it.
Yeah, dude.
He came on extremely early. We'll have a whole segment on Alex in a later video because we're kind of working through the trilogy of Vyper's birth. But Alex is the head of brand and partnerships for Vyper Industrial, as Duke connects us with some of the biggest dogs in the game. And he's here with us today.
That was a good intro.
I know. I
thought I
actually
was.
feel
I
like
I
thought,
didn't even have a piece of paper.
I'm in
on that
royalty.
thing, dude.
well,
Yeah.
also I thought you were gonna make fun of me a little bit, but there's nothing. That was
there'll
just
be plenty of that
straight hype.
later.
I'm kind of pumped right now. I'm glad to be here, guys.
Yeah, dude.
Look at that.
Thanks
So,
for joining us.
You came
Unexpected.
for what'd you come for? This trip.
This was my third ticket that I booked, and I was supposed to be up here for the first day of canning for Vyper Energy, and there's no such canning to be done this week.
Unfortunately. So we got
This month.
This was we had our nut cups on this week and
last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the months that we've been working on this project for, it's got to be close to 2 years now.
Easy.
It's got to be close to 2 years. Like,
I remember, so it was in like the talks when I joined on as kind of like an up in the air joke, that you guys would always throw around, and then as like within a month or something after I was on, you guys brought on Chris, who formulated it. So it was like,
true.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
backstory was like, it was one of the trips up here. Dane picked me up like he always does from the hotel. Then that hotel was right next to a Quick Trip. Stopped in there, got some drinks. Almost always we pick up energy drinks because we literally lived off them because that's all we did was work all the time. And then we got back in the car and we're just sitting there like he was looking over the ingredients and stuff. He's like, why don't we just make our own? And I was like, kind of just laughed it off. And then I think it was like the afternoon, like the drive home, we're like, fuck it. Let's do it.
Let's make one.
And then literally that's when all the other stuff you're talking about comes in. So literally, again, started as a joke.
It started as a joke, but then like once
But a serious joke. It wasn't just like, oh, screw it, let's make an energy drink. It was like, we could make them one better.
That first like week was kind of like just throwing it around. Like, all right, we made some simple designs, but there's no core purpose of what we wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
And then like actually when we started to think about it, I remember the conversation you and I had. You're like, dude, I'm having like serious side effects from these energy drinks I'm drinking.
Unreal.
In the beginning stages, we were up till like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. working on stuff. And
Like it was a daily thing.
It was daily.
Literally, and I had like, not pallets, what do they call it? Like I was getting like Monster Energy drinks, cartons of like literally like when you order like a 40, 50 pack of them, whatever it is. And I was going through 3-4 a day. Like I don't know how, honestly, like I don't know how I didn't die. When you read those stories about how much people like have heart problems or whatever from how much energy drinks they drink. And not only that, all the sugar and all the other stuff that's put in my body, consistently drinking that much, consistently working that much, like it's kind of unreal, honestly.
Yeah. But you were drinking, I remember we had that conversation, like, dude, I'm not right. Something's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, how much you sleep in? You're like, not much. I'm like, well,
are you taking your body? No. Are you eating good? No.
So you had things
it was the whole thing, yeah.
You had things added up on top of it, but then we really came down to like, hey, how many energy drinks are you drinking? You sent me a video or picture or whatever at like midnight drinking one, and you're like, I go through like 3 or 4 a day, and then like that's when it hit me where I'm like, you're not the only one. Yeah. I see kids in the gym drinking a few just during a workout. And then started to do a lot of research on like all the ingredients that like Ghost Energy, Monster, Red Bull put in their drinks. They're sugar-free and carb-free drinks. And it's like, how are you getting it so sweet? You know, at such a low cost. You'd walk in there, you could get 2 Ghosts for like $2. I'm like, how is it $1? Like, $1.50. These ingredients have to be terrible.
Well, you bring up a good point too about the 0 calorie or whatever, because I remember I would just drink regular energy drinks, right? Like just the normal one that everyone kind of gets, and then that's when you start talking about it. I'm like, okay, and then I started finding like the 0 ones. I'm like, oh no, it's good for me. Yeah, it's caffeine, but look, there's nothing in it. There's no sugar. There's no calories, whatever. Like these are good for me. You're like, no. You're like, does it have this in it? I'm like, yeah. And then you're like, do you know what that is? I'm like, no.
Exactly.
You're like, look it up. I'm like, oh, damn, okay. And then I start realizing that all those healthy energy drinks are
terrible.
Yeah.
And what you'll notice too is when they'll say like no sugar or no carbs, and they'll say no artificial sweeteners. People need to realize that there's a difference between sweeteners, flavoring, and coloring.
Yep.
Okay, so if it doesn't have any artificial sweeteners, it might have artificial flavoring and artificial colors in it.
Well, that's
and
just
other artificial ingredients.
That's just the sneaky marketing stuff they try and do.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And like that, then once we started to dig in, right, we're like, I'm like, dude, this shit's all a lie. And once we started to actually dive into it and like look at the ingredients, we're like, there's a huge opportunity for a new energy drink brand like Vyper to come in, and that's a trustworthy brand, whether it's just energy drinks or supplements in a whole. And then I tied it to my diabetes, and I'm like, no wonder whenever I drink an energy drink that's sugar-free, my blood sugar will spike. Like, spike. And I'm like, how the hell is it spiking when it's no carbs, no sugar?
And that's the thing, and real quick, I don't mean to cut you off, but like you said something that I want to harp on is like you said trustworthy, and that's the biggest thing. There's no reason that a energy drink should be putting these things in a drink other than to trick a consumer. Like the sucralose simply is there to say that they can make a claim that it's sugar-free because they know that if they say it's sugar-free to the consumer is going to think that it is good for them.
Correct.
And it's not. There's millions of studies that say sucralose is horrible for you. So again, being trustworthy is huge, and it's just...
So I've started to think of like my health and like the stuff that I consume almost as like an investment. Like if you smoke a pack of cigarettes, clearly it's not good for you, right? But if you do something, if you smoked a third of a cigarette a day, like, oh no, it's not that bad. But then if you did it every single day and 3 times a day, like all of a sudden like it just starts to compound, and like if you don't think about it that way, it's the same thing as investing. If you put $1 away a day, at the end of, a year, at the end of 10 years, like how much money do you have? And so like if you think about your health in that way, where like, okay, sure, this energy drink I'm having today will be just fine. I can afford it, Okay, but then multiply that times 365 days, multiply that times 4 years, like what are you actually putting in your body? And like, is it something that you can like that you should be putting in? Like,
well, it's a tricky situation. I feel like I can relate because it was me, and it's like everyone's making the efforts. Like, I don't think it's people being ignorant. People are making those efforts to be healthier, like go for the lower calorie, go for the sugar-free options, all that stuff. It's just they don't know why those claims are being made. Like, is it actually good for you, or is it like, again, the sucralose? And I think it's because all these companies are basically normalizing. So
that's exactly it.
Now it's like standard. If it's a 0-calorie drink, I guarantee you 99% of them are sucralose.
Right.
99% of them have ACE, 99% of them have all these things in them. It's because everyone in the industry is basically normalizing it, and so everyone thinks it's okay. And so with your claim of like doing this every so often, it's like they think it's fine because everyone else is doing it. It's approved. It's FDA approved. You know, it can't be bad for you, right? Like
that's
normal.
why I really want to utilize the Vyper base, because I don't think it's the consumer's fault. I think it's the brand's fault. For, like you said,
it's the marketing. It's clever marketing.
Tricky marketing.
Yeah.
And that's so unfair to the consumers because you don't truly know what you're putting into your body.
Because that was me. Literally, if I knew what all this stuff was, would I have done it? No. But like, and then also like we were talking the other day, is if other people are doing it and you think it's okay, then you do it too. And it's like, it's just at the point that so many people do it, so many brands do it, that it's made to be okay at this point. And now we have the challenge, just like we kind of did with the chairs, like trying to teach, like get people to go off of the consumable nature.
That's one thing I think now we'll struggle with off the bat is trying to explain it to people.
Yeah, people are going to drink an energy and be like, why is it not like that bang of sweetness that I'm so used to? It's like, because it doesn't include that crap that's awful for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we got to start from square one and go all the way back down and like basically help people relearn this stuff.
Correct.
Relearn what a sugar-free drink is, relearn what a low-calorie drink actually is, and how it's being done in the right way, not the cheap way.
Right. And that's why I think there's a huge opportunity, because we'll be the only brand that'll be that transparent company besides Transparent Labs. Their stuff's pretty good. You know,
they don't.
Doesn't
do
taste,
they do an energy drink?
They do
like pre-workouts and stuff.
They do pre-workouts, but their flavoring is way off.
Yeah.
Like
but the concept's there, and that's what's important.
It is. But like, I want Vyper to be the brand where no matter what supplement or product in general that we're selling, people can see the can or the case or the bottle and trust it. And be like, I don't even need to feel like I need to look at the ingredients, because this is a trustworthy brand. Because I think the reason why I know there's an opportunity there is it's so sad to see these large energy brands or supplement brands that are now making their clean line, their natural line. And it's like, if you take a step back and look at that from a bird's eye view in marketing, you're essentially saying that all your other products are artificial and shitty. You know what I'm saying? So I saw Rain Energy just launch like their clean version of an energy drink, and it's like, bro, you're literally telling everybody that your other stuff is terrible for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But we made so much money off that now we can do this other thing and charge more money for it too.
That's exactly it.
It's like the can is like a third of the size smaller or something like that. I tried one the other day.
It's a fraction. You know,
yeah, it's super sweet.
And it just goes to the consumer, and I think consumers need to like take a step back and look at that and be like, what kind of brand is this?
But take a step back and look at it. Did you see what's in it still?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
There's still sucralose. There's still ACE. So it's like, dude, you're still lying. Like, they're designing these cans in a way to trick your psychology to make you feel good when you drink it. And it's so unfortunate. And, like, it just upsets me because, like, these large brands have control over the consumer to the point where, like, they're not even looking at the ingredients. They're just trusting the brand.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are probably saying, like, yeah, but it's the consumer. The consumer needs to educate themselves and stuff. It's like, there's only so much the consumer do at one point when all these brands are doing it. And they're also, like, again, tricking them. And, like, I mean, what is a consumer supposed to go through every single ingredient on the healthy drink and actually make sure it's good for them? Like, that's a little kind of overwhelming. I feel like if you put a healthy option out there, if you market as a healthy option, then it should be a healthy option. I feel like that's an obligation as a brand to do that. And
obligation, that's a great word.
Yeah.
Like, as a brand owner, if you're making supplements that somebody's consuming on a day-to-day basis, it is your obligation to make sure that it is the best ingredients in there. You know, where did that ever turn? When did it ever change? At what point did people realize that, oh, I don't have to pay so much for cane sugar or sugar. I can now cut my costs in half and put this artificial sweetener in there that is still probably worse for you than sugar is.
Yeah.
But I'm cutting my costs by a ton. And it's just unfortunate where we came to where we are now. And you wonder why all these health issues arise. And when people are passing dead at 35 years old, 40 years old, you're like, well, how could that happen? It's like, look at our generation especially, look at what we're eating. All the artificial stuff and everything, preservatives, fried food, greasy. Like, let's take it back to the grassroots days of our grandparents.
See, and I think a good portion of it is changing because, like, I heard a bunch of McDonald's restaurants are closing. So, Like
And
there are
Burger King.
and so it's like there are people notice that, while the food might taste good, while it's a good dopamine hit or whatever, like there are so many other options that you can get for like the same price.
Well, I think the pandemic helped a lot because it raised, like before that was the option because it was cheap. Like low income families or whatever, they would eat those things because it was cheaper for the most part. And now like out of the prices have raised, like that stuff's not cheap anymore. So it actually worked.
Well,
in, like, the health
I think
favor,
there are
I
just
think.
more restaurants out there that offer like a competitive,
That as well. I
opportunity,
think
like a
good combo,
Chipotle, Qdoba,
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, not maybe Chick-fil-A's might not be
I would say your
the best
guys'
option. But
app says bad things about all the places you just named.
Yuka.
Whatever that app is.
Let's talk about that app.
That's a
because
good
I
app.
really want to make consumers aware of this app. It's called Yuka, Y-U-K-A. You can truly scan any product in the grocery store. This isn't an ad. We're not sponsored by them. Not getting paid for this. But you can... Yet. You can reach out to Alex and then we can set some. So you can scan any barcode in the grocery store, and I would say probably 95% of the products they've rated. So they have their internal team that they have core values stating that they don't take any endorsements from outside brands, any of these large companies to
That's
make theirs better. Do research on them because they're a super respectable brand. And it feels like a family. It really does. And it actually might be a family that started it. But you can scan any barcode, and it'll tell you any additives in it, any artificial flavors, ingredients, any alarming ingredients that you should not be consuming, and it'll actually score it out of 100. When Kenzie and I started using this app, we cut our grocery products in half because they were bad for us. Or like it was being rated at like 20 or 0. It's harmless things too. Take tortilla shells, for example.
yeah.
We were buying your name brand toast, whatever the hell it is, and it was 0 out of 100. Like legitimately 0 out of 100, saying like this is terrible for you. So it's those harmless things those things that you think are harmless, but actually when you take a step back and look what's in it, there's all these flavoring and dyes and artificial this to preserve the shelf life.
I
And it's I don't
love
want
that.
that stuff in my body.
I love
at
that
all.
app because it takes away all that, like having the consumer do all the research. Because it's tough, like to remember
is
all this
tough.
stuff. Like unless you're passionate about it, like I know like the top core things that are bad for you just because of the energy and stuff. But like to know all those things in every type of food and stuff is a little much. So being able to scan that, it's pretty.
It's
genius.
pretty cool. And
You feel like shit too when you're driving around with Dan and he's like, "Let me scan that." And he's like, "Yeah,
No,
fucking
I'm-
0.
I'm
Keep
good,
eating it,
Dan.
Alex."
I'm
I'm like,
just
"Damn."
So I like Yuka, but I sort of take into like account like the stuff that they list because it'll say like oh, it's too high in calories or whatever, and like as a person who like misses my calorie marker all the time by like a less than amount, you have to sort of take into account that whatever they give you have to pay attention to.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
take it with a grain of salt. Because
Yeah.
I
Can't just be
get
a
that all the time.
Like mindless sheep. You gotta actually pay attention to
So
it.
like
Yeah.
sometimes it'll say like too much sugar or something, but if you actually look at the sugar and it's cane sugar, like that's not bad for you. And like you said, sometimes you need that in your diet.
Correct.
Or say
Yeah.
like it'll say too much sodium or whatever. Like to me, honestly, when I look at stuff like that, being somebody that's physically active, drinking a lot of water, like when it says there's too much fat or sodium or whatever it is, like I kind of not necessarily ignore it, but I'm like, okay, I'm just making sure there's no artificial.
Yeah, and think about
Garbage
your
in
lifestyle
here,
and
you
your
know?
goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that stuff.
Like you
that's
said,
just,
if somebody we have fast metabolisms,
Yeah.
and like to gain weight is extremely hard.
Been trying my
Like,
whole life.
dude, it's so hard. You got to eat. The only way to do it is like by eating garbage and pizzas and this and that. But like, as somebody that has a fast metabolism, you have to get those calories and carbs that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And sometimes the app will rate it as bad, but like it'll be orange.
See, and I
It won't
think
be
I
red.
actually think that's an important thing that people should pay attention to going forward. Is that like you should take, like health risks, or you should make decisions based on your own health. If you're comfortable with something, I think that like if you like the flavor of a Ghost, right? If you're comfortable with where you're at and you don't have any outlying health issues, all right, have a Ghost for a day, right? But keep in mind that this stuff compounds over the course of time. And I always think going back to the healthy option, while it might not be, like eating a salad or something like that, might not be the most exciting thing. Like it's the thing that like long term is good for you. And I think that's overall is what is important.
It makes you feel good
I
too.
think people just don't eat they eat to eat rather than eat for nutrition. I think that stuff kind of got lost.
It's crazy what you can do. You can noticeably see changes in your body by switching your diet within a week. Your energy levels, how you sleep, how you work out, like by simply cutting out all the garbage.
And that's exactly what I want to do this with energy drink.
Correct.
Because you cut that stuff out, you feel better. I remember so once I learned all this energy stuff, I think I told I literally, even though it's still, I went from like the full energy drinks to like the fake one, like the fake healthy ones. And then once we kind of learned more about that stuff, and I kind of sat back and looked at myself and like thought about all the like negatives that are going on in my body, then I just stopped cold turkey. I haven't had an energy drink since. I've sampled ours, but we don't have any more to drink. But for the 9 months, I went like cold turkey. I haven't had any. And like the difference between a week, like I don't even need that. You know what I mean? Like, and I felt better. I looked better. Like, it's unbelievable. And that was just like, really, that was the only thing I really changed. I've changed a lot since then, but like the first thing that I changed was just not drinking that stuff for so long.
And that's the thing with this too, is like you're talking about ghosts and tasting good. This thing tastes delicious. Yeah. Like it's so natural. Like when you taste it, it's refreshing. That's the word. That's the word for it. It's not too sweet. It's not too sweet. You know.
I always felt like it was a little more filling as well. Like you drink the other ones and you get like that like bubble in your gut because there's nothing to it. You know.
Correct.
And like after having the Vyper Energy, it was like like I actually just drank something, you know, that is like
sustainable.
Yeah, seriously.
The way I like talk about it is like I have kids. I'm sure some people with kids will relate. Like when your dad or mom or whatever, and like sometimes your kids like leave stuff out. You take a little sip of like a juice, and it's like kind of like rubbing this. And it seems like there's like some like gummy bears or something like gummy snacks or whatever. It's like, oh heck yeah, I remember these on my house when they taste good. It's like that reminds me of like when I just like have their juice, because I'm not a juice guy by any means. I don't go out of my way to have juice, but that's like a refreshing, lightly carbonated juice, and different game than energy drinks, and that I feel like 100%. That's why I enjoy it more. Is it's not that like overpowering sweetness and carbonation and different option.
So that was essentially why we came into the industry, why we wanted to make our own product, because we saw a market for it. We saw that there was a need for a trustworthy brand that people can know the ingredients in it are good for them, and that we're actually looking out for the consumer. So we
wanted to take that on.
And we
wanted to take on educating people about it.
Yeah, I am extremely passionate about putting great things into your body. I've been listening a lot to Rob Dyrdek, and he's in it for longevity. He's like, I want to live as long as I possibly can. And he talks about this stuff a lot. It starts by not trusting the huge brands that are just trying to take your money. And going back to the grassroots of what our grandparents were doing. They're eating out of the garbage garden. They're they're making their own food, you know what I'm saying, versus going to the store and buying all this heat up in the microwave kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like that's why we wanted to come into this industry, because I feel there's a huge need, and I feel kind of called to move into this industry, because I want to create products that people can trust and actually helps them reach their goals. I want somebody to take Vyper Energy as a pre-workout and have the best lift of their life and not have any crash, be extremely motivated throughout it and after. But I want somebody to be able to grab this and know that they don't have to be worried that they're putting fake shit into their body.
Yeah.
You know? So we designed the can. Another huge thing about Vyper Energy as well is, dude, it's American made. Like, this is an American brand. Everything we do promotes America and those that are the backbone of this country. You know, firefighters, you have troops, police officers, nurses. Like, that is the core, blue-collar workers. That's the core to Vyper Energy, is those that are essentially ensuring that this company is running. You know, because without them, we wouldn't have any. What did I say?
They have to run our company too, but like run the country, yeah.
That's a company. Country. But like we want to promote them, and not a lot of actually I don't think any energy drink brands are promoting an American-made kind of patriotic vibe to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like, you know, those workers and stuff, like you need a caffeine kick. That's why you have an energy drink. But I think a lot of people don't realize that like you need more than just a caffeine thing. Like when you're tired, your body's telling you you're tired. It's not you need caffeine and you're going to feel better. Your body needs XYZ, and that's why we put XYZ also in these drinks, is because you need more than just caffeine. You need all the other things like the electrolytes, the L-theanine, all that good stuff, so your body actually has fuel to continue that work. Because like you're working late nights at the hospital, you think a little bit of caffeine is going to help you, think it's going to make you more focused. No, it's going to give you a little bit of a hype. It's going to then crash, and your body still needs what it needed. It needed some sort of energy source as far as like a food source, almost like the amino acids. It needs replenishment from those electrolytes. It needed all that stuff. It just didn't need caffeine. And I feel like that's the trick of the energy drink is like all the focus is the caffeine. Everyone picks up an energy can. They're like, how much caffeine's in here? All right, that's good. That'll give me a couple hours. It's like, no, man, there's so much more to that than just caffeine.
It's a roller coaster. You'll get the high and then you'll crash. Oh, I need another energy drink. Yeah. Oh, I'm good. Crash. Where this is like sustainable throughout the entire day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we designed the can, got it ready to go. We obviously didn't know how to go about producing it. So, and I didn't want to just take ingredients from a kitchen sink and dump it in this thing. So we hired a nutritionist, Chris, so he'll be on one of the podcasts as well. Hired a nutritionist. Chris came in full-time, and his sole job in the beginning was, I want you to formulate the cleanest energy drink that provides the most sustainable energy for the everyday consumer. And after, I think it was like 2 or 3 months, he had a formulation ready to go. He bought stuff from online. Remember him running around the shop? Yep. Hey, try this. Do you like this? Yep. Hey, is this too sweet? Hey, is this bad? So, like, we didn't go to this big corporation and had them develop it for us. We're like, we want to build the ingredients and give it to somebody else to help us build it. Mm-hmm. You know, because we didn't know where we were at that point. Chris came in and he absolutely killed it with everything that's in there.
It just talks about type of ingredients that we use too, or it speaks to those ingredients is the fact that we could just, I think there's a couple things that were online, but for the most part, it's easily attainable stuff at the grocery store. So 90% of stuff came from the grocery store. The other stuff, like maybe a nutrition store online, just because the grocery store doesn't have it, but it's easily attainable. And then we put it together in-house, and we can mix it together, minus the carbonation, and have everyone drink it. It just tells you, like, what's in here. We don't have any special chemicals. We don't have all that stuff where you got to order it from, like, some sort of...
Bake it or...
like,
all this crazy shit to it.
Completely different feel. And that's, when we first started this thing, like, again, we didn't know, like, how to do this. So we kind of, like, reached out to some companies, and they're like, oh, we got this formula, this formula, this formula. You can pick one of these. You can add it. You can make it cherry, blueberry, whatever you want. And then we can do your can too. And we're like, we don't want just the same shit that everyone else has.
That's a good point.
And that's where we brought in Chris too. Is like literally like, and that's I think.
It's actually stepping out of here. It's kind of an interesting fact, but go ahead.
Yeah, kind of stepping out of kind of that conversation, but it's important, and then we can kind of work back into like what happened. Is like. When we talk about making an energy drink, everyone laughs, right? And why is that? The real reason is because they think it's like a money grab. Because everybody else that ever puts out an energy drink literally did just what I said. They go to this plant and they're like, hey, I want to make an energy drink because we have a cool brand and I could probably sell it. And literally just pick A, B, C. You want the Red Bull one, you want the cherry monster, you want this and that. They do a cool little can, they fill it up and they sell it. And they're just out there for the money. They don't care about what's in it. They don't care about anything other than that. They just want an energy drink. We didn't do that. And so while everyone thinks it's a money grab, it's not. We're actually doing things completely different, stuff that costs way more money to do that like, the cool thing about an energy drink is like there's probably really good profits in it, I'm sure, if you do it that way. But like that's not the case for us. We're spending the extra money to make this better for people. And all of our marketing is going towards informing the customer, not like, hey, this is the best drink ever, try it. We're like, hey, man, this is what you're drinking. You need to stop, and these are bad things for you. Whether or not that helps sell our product or just helps the consumer, it's a completely different game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I love what you said, and I want to branch off on it more, so everyone listening can understand. There's brands out there that you can go to, anybody can go to, and you can take a Red Bull blend and just put your name on it. Remember
That's
that company?
Wild to me.
The first company we went to. We communicated with a lot of companies in the beginning, but they're like, hey, we already have this pre-made energy drink blend that tastes just like Red Bull that you guys can just put your logo on. We'll make it, and we can have this done in a month.
And it's like, what color do you want it?
Literally.
What flavor do you want? A cherry? You want a grape?
Correct.
Also, do you want to be under certain calorie? Do you want to be under certain sugar? They can make those minor little tweaks,
right.
But at the end of the day, it's the same
It's
crap.
the same thing. So then we asked him, we're like, what do you mean you have a Red Bull blend? He's like, it's just like Red Bull with the same ingredients, except we just tweaked it a little bit. And it like hit me, and you start to see all these energy drink brands pop up in the last year, and you start to look at their ingredients, and they're all the same.
The only difference is the look. It's
The
everyone.
look.
They're trying to go for different consumers
Right.
with a different brand,
So
different
like
demographic.
that was so eye-opening because even me before, I didn't know that. I'm like,
Yeah.
how are there so many energy drink brands when you actually dive in? They're just utilizing their brand, their previous brand image to now launch into the energy drink space.
and that's why
there's
people
a lot that
laughed
are
at us,
just-
I think, and
Right.
still probably think we're just
we're
doing
not
that.
we're not the everyday energy drink brand. We're not like everybody else. Like everybody else and their grandma and sister made their energy drink. Dude, Vyper is completely different.
Well, and that's the thing is
Completely different.
when I went to the rag company for TRCMO, I'm sitting there at dinner the night before a presentation. I'm talking with Anthony, who was one of the head guys over there. And again, for those who don't know, he had a past with bodybuilding.com. He's been a model, a bodybuilder, all that stuff, and really knowledgeable in the industry. And like literally, like I've known Anthony for a long time. And when I told him, like he just like kind of laughed and chuckled at me, and I was like, you don't expect that from
Right.
someone you've known for a long time. And I'm like, what? He's
Yeah.
like, oh, cool, another energy drink. Good luck, guys. I'm sure you guys will kill it or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not like that. He's like, what do you
Right.
mean? I started telling him. He's like, okay, heard that before, whatever. The next morning, I'm like, okay, I finally have the can here because it finally showed up whenever Dylan finally, got it to me. And I showed it to him, and he's just looking at, and like literally, he's like his face, he's giving those reactions. He's like, shit, 1, 2, yeah. Oh, wow, okay. Like, he's like, okay, I get it now. You guys literally are doing something different. And it's like,
Correct.
that was like a,
Right.
you
So, like anybody listening, I just warn you to be super careful of the big name brands that you're trusting right now for the energy drink space and the supplement industry. Because, from my experience, like a lot of the brands are just copying each other. I'm not gonna say the name, but there's this brand that I even thought I trusted, and they came out with an energy drink. I'm sure you guys know what I'm thinking of. And I look at the ingredients, and like, dude, it's comparable to like a Ghost or something else. And it's like, what the like. I trusted this brand to come out with great products, and they have artificial this, artificial that, sweeteners, dyes, and it's like, what the hell, man? So it's like, damn, this brand, this huge behemoth of a brand just came into this industry just for a money grab, like you're saying too. And it's like, dude, it's kind of like I lost a lot of respect for them. I'm not gonna lie, and like that, seeing all the brands come into the industry is also like a huge motivating factor of why I want to do this even more. Why I think there's a great opportunity, because I want to build trust with every single consumer. It's one by one. I want people to see this and just feel trustworthy and relatable to who we are.
Honestly, I feel like this is gonna be an eye opener. Like, yeah, we can see like brands are doing it for money grabs, and I think I've said this even that podcast, but I feel like a lot of them may not even know that really. Like deep down, I think a lot of like influencers that promote these things and like they're like health nuts, and maybe they just don't know it. So I think like my goal, my happiness with this for the marketing side or aspect of it is to be able to like, inform those people, and then like when they're like pushing products or whatever, they're supporting someone, they actually like feel better about it. Like,
Right.
Can you imagine like pushing something and then figuring out that it's awful
Garbage.
for people?
Right.
Like, that kind of sucks.
So we got the can design. Chris formulated all the ingredients, had everything listed for a middleman company that we discovered was the best in the industry. And
when you say middleman, what Dane's saying is like not someone to do, mainly just someone that's experienced in this industry of how to like, they already have contacts with like canning lines, with formulation companies.
Somebody to help you get from point A
Ingredients.
to point B.
Exactly.
that has experience for over 25 years.
Yeah.
And they're the number one company. They're trustworthy. It's just that, as we found out, their internal organization is very
Scattered.
very scattered
in a polite way.
in a polite way. And it shouldn't be for projects like this, because there's a lot of they're essentially the middleman doing all the purchasing from vendors, making sure that it gets to the packager.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of logistics that go into it. And if you're a messy company, things are going to get lost, which we experienced well over 10 or 15 times throughout the last 2 years.
And at the time, like Vyper's always been that way. Like we learned really early on to not rely on other people. We've done everything ourselves. This one was a little bit different because it was a different industry, and also like we were still growing. This was at the time, like this was like a year and a half, 2 years ago or whatever. So like we were still trying to add employees. Like we were still wearing 10 hats each. So like we didn't have the time to do it. So like we kind of had to rely on someone else if we wanted to get this going to kind of do some of that legwork for us, rather than hiring a whole team for something that we didn't know was going to take off.
Yeah.
So
I think it's difficult to try and tread a path unless somebody shows you how to get there, you know?
Well, we're still trying to
And
figure out
so,
stuff on the industrial
of
side
course,
at the same
yeah,
time.
right.
So, it's like,
and, you know, granted, like, you don't know what you don't know. And so I think for us moving forward, like, you know, it becomes, I jokingly said it to you the other day, like, we literally need a team who should just drive up in a black Hellcat van and hop out, and it's like, all right, hey, we need this, this, and this. Like,
Right.
we're here to take care of it. If your business, like, can't figure it out, like, it's
Right.
the Vyper get shit done
because
team.
we're
Like,
at that point now. We
Get shit
have
done,
those
dude.
people, and we learned a lot through this, and now we can.
Yeah.
I feel like we know it better than them because we took the time to research it. We didn't just rely on them to do all this stuff. Like, we are heavily, actively involved in this stuff, and like it was very frustrating because at one point I feel like we could have done this ourselves, like a little bit into it as we got some more breathing room at Vyper Industrial. It's just we signed an agreement. So again, we're at this point where we hired a middleman and we're on an agreement, and so take it from there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with that being said,
It got, I mean, like we went through, like I said, probably 10 or 15 different occurrences of missing deadlines just for sampling even. We went through, I think it was 10 or 12 different sampling, and those were delayed week after week. Oh, we ran into a problem with our vendor. It's going to be a 2-week delay. It's going to be this. And I want people to realize is I understand delays. We get it. We're purchasing from probably close to 50 different vendors on a daily basis with Vyper Industrial. I get delays. But where it's frustrating is when you're not in control. Right now, if we run into a problem with a vendor, we're calling them, we're going to their door, we're flying to them, like we're figuring it out that same day. It's not like they tell us, oh, there's a delay, and we just sit back with our hands up like, oh, well, they said it's a delay.
Yeah.
Which I feel is what's happening at this organization because they're not taking this project on like it's theirs.
And it's not just that,
know?
too. There's other stuff, too, as far as, like, when it starts coming down. Like, okay, we got the formula nailed down. Oh, you know, we actually ran those numbers, and, like, we're actually $1 over budget. Okay, now we have to go back and redo the whole process, reformulate the entire thing based on that information.
That, too.
Then we do it again, and it's like, oh, shit, you know, we did it again. Oh, wait, just kidding. Even though we scared you guys, we had to do it again. It was actually an error. We miscalculated, and it's like... So it was one thing after another.
We got
over
pricing
and over.
back like probably 7 or 8 months ago. Hey, this is what we think the price is going to be per can, and we're like, that's way too high. This was our target price, and then they out of nowhere they recalculate. Oh, here's actually what it is, and then we dive into the numbers. A week goes by.
it's just bad business.
It's bad business. A week goes by, and they come back again. Sorry, our calculations were wrong. It's actually this price. We got 3 different prices within a week of that formulation period. Remember, like, those are things we forgot because we, in the past 3 months, have gone through hell and back with these guys already. So, like, there's so much stuff we went through that we forgot. So, long story short, we have this middleman company, been working with them for about a year and a half, and like Alex said, they're just doing our purchasing. They're buying from vendors that they have relationships with, bringing all the materials to the packager to package up and bottle our cans. And we had production set up, like in place with the packager on May 8th. It was.
Yeah.
May 8th. Today is May 9th, so it's supposed to be yesterday. That was set in stone, and then just about a month ago, we got notification saying, hey, we can actually move this up to May 2nd.
Because we're so on track.
Yeah,
we're
'cause
actually
we're so-
ahead of schedule.
So they say, hey, we can move this up a week. And of course, we're like, dude, hell yeah,
Done.
this is awesome. Done. Let's do it. Like, that gives us plenty more time to now have finished, completed cans to take photos of. And we get back from our LA trip, which is like April 31st. And that next Monday, May 1st, we get notification saying, hey, our printing can company that does like the can print ran into a delay. It's gonna be 2 more. They need 2 more days, so we're not gonna be able to produce until May 5th. It was.
And
It was that
understandable.
Friday. We're
No
like,
problem.
I
Shit
get it.
happens.
I get it. Yeah, it sucks.
We're
like,
bummed.
damn it! I was so excited to
Yeah.
taste this thing, but it's like cool. It's still the same week. Whatever. We have new guys starting this week. We got to.
If there was a couple more delays, like it's understandable.
I get
Stuff
it.
like that happens. Yeah.
Cool. We're still on time for our May 17th launch.
Yeah.
Okay, Friday's the new date. Thursday rolls around.
Thursday before the day we're supposed to formulate. I want everyone to understand that the day before, everything we were literally gonna go and it was gonna be like put together and put in a can. Everything was supposed to be already at the facility way in
Right.
advance or whatnot. We were just supposed to go and show up, and it was supposed to get made.
Correct.
So the day before, literally
have-
within less than 24 hours before we're supposed
Right.
to be there, before we're supposed to start.
We have tens of thousands of dollars invested in this hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in this project. We have huge podcast lined up the day after the launch, strategically planned for that date so we can help promote Vyper Energy. This podcast is huge, and we have all this marketing. We've been pushing ads to the website for well over a month, promoting a May 17th launch and a May 10th pre-launch, which is tomorrow. And Thursday rolls around, like Alex said, the literal day before production. They say, hey, one of our vendors forgot to add in your vitamin blend to their production, and it is not at
Like they didn't
the
order.
bottling
They
plant.
forgot to order.
They forgot to order.
The company that was supposed to order everything forgot to order one thing.
Not just one.
One
of the main ingredients.
But like, you want to
Like-
stress that it was the company, and all they were to do was order the ingredients, and they forgot to order ingredient.
which is a 12-week lead time for that blend.
So it's like this wasn't
Absurd.
something that was.
It's
like-
absurd.
Yeah.
It's like to where you're speechless almost. Of like, I don't even know what to say.
And again,
at this
we're
point.
we're not complaining, we're not bitching. Shit happens. But when you have a middleman that's job is to make sure that these things are done, it's just like if that was my job to make sure the ingredients were done, like that's my job. It should be done.
Correct.
And so for it not to be done and then sit there and blame it on the other company, that's where it gets a little bit of
Correct.
it's not like, again, we're not complaining, bitching. It's just like, it's just unacceptable at that point. Like,
Right. So
and to find that out the day before, like where was the checklist? Where was this? When was this last done? You know, like did you not go
Yeah.
through this stuff? Hey, you know we're a month out. Are we still scheduled to order all that stuff? Because that's your job.
Right.
Yeah, cool. You order all that stuff. Cool.
See, and you
couple
shouldn't
weeks
have to,
out. Hey,
you
did
shouldn't
you?
have to check for it because that's
shouldn't.
their job.
And then like a couple weeks before, hey, just
we would have if we could have been
just
purchasing.
Yeah, I
just
know.
double checking, man. Hey, did you send everything to the brewing company? Oh yeah, you did. Okay. Just quick checklist. You got A, B, C, D, F, G. Oh, cool. On par. There we
Right,
go.
right.
Like
It's a simple
the fact
email.
that wasn't done at all those steps
Super unprofessional.
is the part that gets me.
Yeah. And not only that, how hard have we been pushing the team the last 2 months?
Yeah, pretty hard.
Vyper Energy, like,
Hiring
shoots
more people, all this stuff.
every single day. We had a Vyper Energy shoot. Weekends, like late nights.
Sam's like, I know.
You left my house at 9 p.m. because we're doing shoots.
Yeah.
On like a Thursday.
Yeah.
The amount of effort we put into this launch, and it's like it's just frustrating. Like Alex said, we're not bitching, we're not complaining. We're just emphasizing what we've experienced with this company and the struggles and why we're going to have to push the launch date back.
Yeah.
So Thursday comes around, they say, hey, we forgot, whether it was them or the vendor forgot to add it into their system, one of the most crucial blends of Vyper Energy. Production's not going to happen for a to yet be determined date.
And they just kind of threw up their hands.
They threw up their hands, and then no more
expected us to do it,
notifications
yeah.
through the weekend. So this is Friday, and no notifications through the weekend. We get a notification yesterday saying, "Hey, it's gonna be potentially the beginning of June to launch
No,
this,
mid-June.
or mid-June,
Mid-June.
to
So a
get the
whole
ingredients
month
done."
out there.
And it's like,
And no real effort to do anything. It was just like, it was.
"Hey, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have any
How
questions."
do we
It's
make
like,
this right? Yeah.
it's like,
And
let
we
me
didn't
know
just-
if you have any questions.
And this whole time, we didn't
Yeah,
sit
I have
back.
questions.
We're
Yeah, I
sitting
got
there
a
like,
ton of questions.
like we want to get like this. I guess the Vyper mindset is like, what can we do? And we're like round table brainstorming, trying to get in contact with them. Like, what can we do? How can we use other resources to try and speed this up, get this done? And like that mentality was just like, it is what it is. There's
Right.
nothing else we can do about it.
Which is unfortunate because, of course, we're going to terminate the contract and we're taking this in-house because we are, like Alex was saying, we are a company that likes to do things ourselves because we will go to extreme levels to get whatever needs to be done in a timely manner. If we make a promise, that's another thing I want to note is we look stupid.
It goes to trustworthy. Like
You know, we look
we
stupid.
marketed a launch. Just, not even
You know?
that. It's not like I'm not so much as we look stupid. I feel like we I don't know. It looks I'm a big person on timeliness, on all that stuff, and like your word is your word. And it's like, I know it sounds stupid. We said it's gonna launch, and it's like shit happens, whatever. But I feel like that's kind of our word. We put it out there. Like we told these people we're gonna send them stuff. Told people we're gonna send them these boxes. We told people we're gonna send them these fridges. Like now we get to go back on all that stuff. And yeah, while it's not our fault per se, we go back on our word. And that, like, to start off a relationship of a new product and say, hey, I know we said we were going to do that, but we're not going to do that.
Right.
It doesn't matter that there's a reason, in my opinion. It's like we didn't follow through on the word.
Correct.
At the end of the day, we can sit here and say they did this, they didn't do that, whatever. At the end of the day, it's on us. It's our brand. It doesn't matter who screwed up. It's us. We take accountability for it, and it's just it's unfortunate. Because that goes into the trustworthy part. So to start off a trustworthy product and new brand and have to, back up on that kind of sucks.
So we're looking at it as a way and as an opportunity to, one, we want to be completely upfront with everybody listening that it's going to be delayed till middle of June. We won't be having a pre-sale May 10th, tomorrow. But this is an opportunity for us to internally get our ducks in a row and really find a good structure for Vyper Energy to where we can have a 10x bigger launch than we would have on May 17th.
We're going to take this time to do stuff bigger and better.
We're taking this energy and everything we've learned, and we're going to utilize that to our full advantage to make sure that this launch is huge and that we deliver in a timely manner the next time that we say when we're going to launch.
Everything's just going to get better.
It's going to be better.
We're just going to sit back and wait like they want us to.
10 more people. We're going to have a bigger team. We're going to have better structures. We're going to have better processes. We're going to have better videos. Like, we're going to have this podcast launch.
All the stuff we had planned, like all the boxes, all the fridges. Now we have more time to make it even better. Now we'll do stuff even bigger and better. Like, we'll take it. We'll use it.
Yeah. So,
With that being said, when somebody orders from Vyper Energy, you're fucking damn well sure we're going to get that to you.
Trust me.
In the time frame that we said we would.
We'll have all processes set up internally to make sure that the day you order, like, it is being shipped out that night, if not early next morning.
Yeah.
With experience above and beyond what you ever expected.
Because that's just how we operate.
That's how we operate.
Expect other people to do that, but that's how you get your expectations ruined.
So we're taking this into our own hands after the first initial production, and we're going to do our damnedest to prevent any other further delays in the future.
Because we're being in charge of it.
Because we'll be in charge of it. But yeah, we wanted to have a podcast to publicly announce, obviously, the delays and experiences that we've gone through, and deeply apologize to anybody that was ready to purchase. But middle of June will be a bigger and better and badder launch than it was before.
And I think because this is a business podcast, I think we need to take a spin on it right now. And like, yeah, we told you about this situation and, relay all that stuff to you. But like, let's take a step back and like talk about like what we learned from it. What are the business lessons from this and how we are going to grow from it and how we can help other people, how this can help those other people.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
He's like, fuck, that was easy. No. See how it easy?
No, I agree. Let's use this as a business side or a learning experience. It's similar to what we talked about yesterday, Monday morning, is sometimes when no matter how bad you want something or think you want something and it doesn't turn out, that there's a reason why it didn't turn out. And that there is potentially something even better that you couldn't even imagine right around the corner. That you truly can't even plan.
You gotta have that perspective too.
You do. And but that doesn't say when a problem arises that you just sit back and toss your hands up. It means that when a problem arises, you scope it out from all different avenues and think, what can I possibly do to make this into something? And you push as hard as you can, and you continue to push day in and day out, and eventually something will yield. I want to give the example of when we're buying, or when we found this building. Dylan and I, at our old facility, it was 3,000 square feet, and it was corked tight. We had to take foam outside during the day. I think we told this story in one of the podcasts. We took foam outside in the morning just so we can operate, moved it back in at the end of the day. So every single night, Dylan and I would drive around town to find an open warehouse space that was a little bit bigger. We found one right around the corner that was about double the size. And we were like, dude, this is the building we must have. Plain and simple. It was like a month through conversation with the landlord, and eventually it fell through. and we were devastated. Like, dude, we're not gonna be able to operate. Like, we're gonna have to close up shop or like build a bit, like actually take out a loan to build a building. So we're like, all right, whatever. Let's just keep looking. Something's gonna pop up. We go around the next corner and find another building that's about 3-4 times the size, and we're like, okay, dude, now I know why we didn't get that other one because of this one. There's no lease sign on it, no for sale sign, and we went online to find the person who was paying taxes on it, wrote them a letter, put it in their mailbox to say, hey, we're interested to rent this if it's vacant. Didn't hear anything back for months. So right there, it's like, oh, shit, not going to get that one either. Like, we're kind of screwed, man. Coming home from picking up seats one night, I got a call from our vendor saying, hey, our parent company that was in this building before, it grew out of it, and they're going to be moving out. Here's the address. Go take a look. Let me know. They're going to put it on the market like next week. I go take a look, and it's 45,000 square feet up from our 3,000 square feet. So that's like 12x what we had before. And it's like, holy shit. Like, this is going to be perfect, but it's huge. Like, this is going to be a ginormous risk. But this could be the future of Vyper. And I told my brother and dad about it, and they're like, dude, way too big. No way we're going to.
And what'd you do, Dan?
So we rented it out. I'm like, dude, we'll take it. Like, done, plain and simple. I could definitely see us growing in this building. And the moral of the story is, when I didn't want this building, I never even knew about this building. Mm-hmm. I wanted those other 2 buildings, but it's not what I want. There's a better future for you as long as you continue to push. So whenever you're faced with problems, push as hard as you can, but just know that if something doesn't go your way, there's a reason for it. And you just have to be patient.
And I think the element there, too, is like when something happens to you, like you don't want to go straight into like, everything happens for a reason and like just put your hands up. Like I think when something happens, you have to really learn what is within your control and what's not. I think that's the biggest thing. Like there's stuff that's within your control and there's stuff that's not. And I think the only way you can determine that is when something happens to you, you have to be able to look at the situation, try to do everything within your power and means that makes sense to try and fix the situation. And then you got to realize when it's been enough. Like you can't force things. You got to figure out when it is a stop. Like what's within your control. Once you figure that it's not within your control and such is life type deal, that's when you have to say, okay, this is happening for a reason. There's something else that's going to come that's going to be better. Having that positive mindset, having that perspective, and not just sitting back and having that mindset, doing what you did with the shops is like continue to go out there and find the next one, find the next one. You can't just like sit there like, oh, shit happens, something better will happen. No, it's like that happens. Can I do anything to fix it? I'm going to try all these things. Okay, that didn't work out. Now something better is going to happen, and I'm going to go make sure it does fucking happen. Like this whole manifesting thing, like I love that, but like manifesting doesn't work if you don't do the work to get it. Correct. So like you can say, it's okay that we didn't get these shops, but we're going to get a better one, and just sit there. Like you got to go out and find that shop, and that's how that new shop comes to you. It's not just luck or everything's written in the stars and shit happens at ABC for you. Like you have to put the work in between B and C.
Yeah. I think so I read something once, and I've only used it a handful of times, but it was basically, so when you're presented with a problem that you can't solve yourself, to write it on a piece of paper and then like think of somebody that you respect or who you would like look up to, who's a problem solver in, that industry, and like place the piece of paper, try and get into their headspace and say like, how would Dane solve this problem? Like how would, here's the issue. How would Benjamin Franklin deal with this? How would, and if you can stop thinking like yourself every now and again, because, we all have our own limitations, and try and, come up with the solution from somebody else's point of view, I think you can open doors for yourself. So
honestly, for me, it comes down to just undeniable faith. Like I know everything's going to be fine. Yeah. I do. I know everything's going to be totally fine, because I know that we are going to continue to push every single day. Every single day. So, like, that's why I know everything's going to be fine. I'd be a little bit more concerned if I'm like, oh, everything's going to be fine, and then I sit back, we all sit back and just watch TV or not do anything for that actions.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying is, like, you can't just say, oh, no, it's fine, everything will work out, and just sit back. You have to go and do it. that's the only way things are going to actually turn out in your favor. So, like, we're taking this experience with the whole delays, production, everything we learned, and I'm looking at it as a very expensive tuition.
Yeah, dude.
We're going to school right now.
Yeah,
like,
it's true,
this has
man.
been a costly endeavor, but, like, look at all the things we're learning that we won't run into in the future.
If you didn't fail, you wouldn't learn. I think is the biggest takeaway from it. If, like
Right.
if this went smoothly, we wouldn't learn these lessons. And then what? Are we growing? No.
Right.
Is that better that we like have a flawless launch? Yeah, but like the failures and the lessons that we learned from it are invaluable.
Correct.
It's just gonna make us a better company.
Right.
Agreed.
So
The same thing, like if you just have a company bankrolling all this stuff and you get to make whatever decisions you want, launch whatever products you want, don't have to worry about the headaches, you have to worry about like costs or whatever. Like, are you really gonna be the best brand out there, or is the better brand gonna be the one that went through all the hardships, all the struggles, all that stuff? Like, what one's gonna last longer? What one's gonna be a more impactful, meaningful brand?
which one's backed by money and which one's backed by
Passion.
simply
Sheer
hard work,
determination.
Literally.
Yeah.
There's two completely different companies there. One's going to look all big, fancy, fugazi, and the other one's going to be
tomato, you know.
the other one's going to be gritty workers that know what it takes to get shit done.
Yeah,
Not going to have the nicest cars out there, but those motherfuckers are going to know how to work. You know, everybody else are going to be flaunting their Ferraris and this and that, but like when shit hits the fan, they won't go in and do the dirty work. Where we will. Doesn't matter what level that we're at. Like when it gets dirty, when it gets hard, we are going to be. Doesn't matter what position you're in. We're all in the grindstone.
Yeah, dude, it's Vyper. And that's the thing is, like, I think everyone can look at us right now and be like, oh, yeah, start an energy company because you have a successful industrial. It's like, no, bro.
It's a passion, man.
I'm glad you can see that it's successful. I'm glad that everyone thinks it's successful now, but, like, you don't know the shit we went through. And,
dude,
you know,
we have some of the biggest brands bashing us on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's like, I use, that's motivation right there. Like,
Absolutely.
Plug that in your brain and it's good to go. But,
Absolutely.
I couldn't be more stoked. I'm even more excited now to get this launched than I ever was before because I know we're getting closer to the date where we can take control of it.
Absolutely.
That's really what it comes down to. And we're going to make this thing 10 times the size that we ever imagined. And it's going to be the coolest brand for motocross, motorcyclists, for boxers, for football players, for skiers, for athletes to be sponsored by. I want to work with anybody who wants to go above and beyond and quit working with the bigger kind of shitty brands. If you want to work with a fun company, come work with Vyper.
I think that's where you need to give a quick Vyper Energy ad now.
This podcast was brought to you by Vyper Energy. Vyper Energy is packed with all 9 essential amino acids. It also has a vitamin and mineral blend. So for those that are kind of short on magnesium and zinc, Vyper Energy could be a great source for you. It also has 150 milligrams of natural caffeine, backed by L-theanine as well. So when you combine natural caffeine with L-theanine, you get an insane boost of energy that is sustainable throughout the day as well. Not only that, but there is no artificial ingredients, sweeteners, flavors, or preservatives in Vyper Energy.
Got anything in there if I'm dehydrated?
Yeah, it is. It has electrolytes that will replenish your thirst and give you hydration throughout the day as well. So Vyper Energy will be launching at an undisclosed date sometime in the middle of June. But stay tuned. Continue listening. Like and subscribe once it's on YouTube and Apple
Yeah.
and Spotify. So thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate you.
Anything else you guys want to say before we leave?
That's pretty good.
Let's go all in. Thanks, guys.